record, I wanted this event to be called Pat Farrell Behind the Mustache. When I was first told about this event, I was told it was a roast. But then I sat down to write jokes, and all I could hear was the phrase, "be smart," in the back of my head. It was his very effective tagline as I would go out for the night with my friends in high school. Now, when I was very young, to discipline me, he would put me in timeout and explain exactly what I did wrong. This discipline technique evolved, and by the time I was a senior in high school, he would just say, "Well, that was dumb." And I would nod my head and agree. I grew up thinking I was in some sort of an entourage with my mom and my sister. Everywhere we went, someone knew him. It was like hanging out with some sort of a demigod that I got to pal around with. I felt like the luckiest person, and still do, on the planet. I would study him. I could tell the level of people's familiarity in the way he was addressed. There was Pat, there was Mr. Farrell, and there was Coach. I could always tell his level of familiarity based on the way he greeted people. There were proper names, or there was guy or sweetheart if he wasn't sure. Now, I did the math as 40 years of kids is lots of names to remember. And I did it at roughly 80,000 kids. So you can see how good I was in math. My life. But every one of those kids, he made his priority. And he never made my mom and my sister, or me, ever feel like we were number two. He makes everyone around him feel very special, no matter who you are. You put him in a room where he knows no one, and within 20 minutes, he's friends with the whole room. He can speak intelligently about anything, ranging from how to break a 1-3-1 zone trap to how to break down the language of Shakespeare. It was a tall order to give this speech. The task for me was to give a speech honoring the man who taught me everything I know in 5 minutes, which is very difficult. I rode with him every day as well in that '76 Plymouth Duster. I can still remember that synthetic green, I don't know what it was, upholstery. It gave me third-degree boils in the summer. On those brief trips, we spoke about everything, though, from high school sports to philosophy. My freshman year, I was soon affectionately known by the upperclassmen as Farrell's kid. People always say it must have been weird going to the same school your dad worked at. It wasn't. It was great. It was like being a secret agent. It wasn't something that I advertised very often. But I'll tell you what, it was pretty comforting knowing in the back of my head that if anything really did go down, my backup was within shouting distance. It gave me a lot of confidence in high school. He never made it seem weird or like I was being favored, which is a true testament and very difficult task. You'd think that having your dad being the school's disciplinarian, that you would hear people talking badly behind his back. And I never heard it. Which didn't mean it didn't exist. But there are not a lot of kids who would tell you that he treated them unfairly. Or at least they're probably not here. High school was great because we could speak the same vernacular. It was like having your best friend living with you, who could also give you sagacious advice that wasn't readily available from same age peers. I remember when I had my first beer with him, and he asked me with all sincerity, "What's it like to share a beer with your dad?" "It's been great, Dad. It's been great sharing life with you. I feel very fortunate. The way you carry yourself with pride, honesty, and warmth makes me want to do better in my life. I know I speak for my mom and Jamie when I say you make us all so proud. Proud to be a part of what you've created, what you've worked so hard for. And I know that we all work hard every day to make you proud in return. You've never once been afraid to tell me that you love me or that I did a great job. You showed me how to shoot a basketball, how to carry myself as a gentleman, and how to hit a wicked slice." That's a leftover roast joke. "You taught me how to look at the lighter side of life while still working hard. You're an amazing orator and an even better listener. You're kind, you're funny, and I'm the one who gets to say, you're my dad." Oh, and Jamie. But one time when I was about 8 years old, you asked me who my hero was. And being an embarrassed, obsessive kid, I blurted out, "Michael Jordan." Well, I've regretted that to this day. Well, even though you can't dunk anymore, you've always been a hero to me. A real life hero. The kind of hero that you don't realize they were your hero until it's long overdue. The kind of hero who lets you beat them just once in one-on-one when you're 12. Just to keep your hope alive. The kind of hero who reads your stories when you first started writing and told you to keep going, even though they were probably horrible. The kind of hero who reminded you that you weren't dying when you broke your arm at 10 and then took you to the hospital. The kind of hero who tells you he can hardly wait for you to come out of that coma so we can go see the Cubs play. The kind of hero who listens to every invention idea you have and then shares his own. You're a dreamer, Dad, just like me. You've always been an easy man to respect and an even easier man to love. Congratulations. I'm excited to see what you do in the next chapter of your life.